Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Code Heaven. In this video, we'll be discussing the process of creating gym management system using C# and .NET 7. So this is part 5 of the tutorial. If you haven't watched my previous videos of this series, I suggest you to go to my channel. I've created a playlist for this series. You can go and watch the previous videos. So let's get started for today. So let's start the application. Let's see what we built last time, and we'll try to improve from it. Starting. Yeah. So in previous video, we made a dashboard showing total number of members, the active and inactive members, expired memberships, and trainers. So let's see what's there in check-ins. So in check-in, we have this check-in link here, and whatever we check in, so it gets checked in. But here I can see the expired status as well. So what we can do today is, so if the membership has expired, we would deny their check-in. We can do that from here. So, so if they want to see like all the members who are like expired, we can maybe put a list in here to maybe show all the members who are expired, but not in this check-in section. In this check-in section, we'll only allow those members to check in who are not expired. So let's work on that today. Let's see what we can do. So we'll have to go to check-in page. Let's see where our pages. It's in this one. Pages and check-ins and create. Okay. So what's happening currently is on post it will come up in here. Let's put it checkpoint here and let's do some check-in. For Jessica, let's do okay. Let's see what's coming up in this check-in model. So on check-in model, we have member ID. So by this member ID, we will have to check its membership has expired. So what we can do is, let's stop this. Let's check if check-in dot member ID. We will have to check in the context dot memberships dot, let's say any of the member will started and there's ended as well. If the membership start any if it which ended is greater than today's date, then the membership is expired. And this membership then will return the page. But this membership should be of this check-in member, right? whoever is checking. So we have to join this checking with the member, and then we have to check the membership. So it should be checking dot members. Let's see what properties are there in checking. So in checking, we can get member. So actually, in checking, actually we need to check. So what I figure out is so we need those members whose memberships have expired. So we'll need to join these members with their memberships. So in link queue, what we do is we include these members with their memberships. X dot their memberships. So so this is so this process is called eager loading in .NET Core or Entity Framework Core, where so whenever we use include members with its respective memberships, at that time only the join call behind the scenes, it joins the members with its memberships. So whenever we include this this method, then only it gets members with its respective memberships. So this is called eager loading. So we got other kind of loading as well, like we also got lazy loading. In lazy loading, what happens is we don't need to include these memberships. If we enable lazy loading, whenever we do something like so we just need to do like context members, and then whenever we assign members with its memberships, right? So suppose we have context dot members dot memberships. For example, dot and like if we bind, if you call this memberships here, then it will generate a SQL query behind the scenes and call those memberships. So that's called the lazy loading. So, but for now we'll be using this eager loading. Let's do this include x dot memberships. And after including, we'll check dot any if we have this the members, the ID is equal to the ID that came from our view, that is checking, dot ID. And not only the ID, we also need the expired date. So and x dot memberships dot any here as well. X such and x dot x dot end date, and if the end date is less than that time dot now. So if the membership is expired, then we just return to page. There is giving us warning, possible no reference. You can use this bang character to, yeah. So we can use this bang to hide this no reference error. But after doing this, we need to show the message in the page as well. For that, what we're gonna do is we'll use this view data property just like in here and make call this message because we're showing the message, and then we'll assign a text that membership is expired for this member. And in front view, we will go in its view. So in here, somewhere in here, for example, let's make a span, and then we'll show this message here. But we and also let's put some class here. Class is equal to maybe alert. Alert. It's a warning message. Let's make it alert extension. So whenever there is message in view data, it will show the message. Let's see what it looks like. Fingers crossed if it works. Let's go to check-ins. And then, oops. Okay, so this is the alert message, but similarly is very bad here. We need to show this alert message only when there is some data in that view band. But here, okay, yeah, these are active members. Let's use an if condition, and if view bag dot message is not null. Only if it's not null, will alt and up arrow, Control X, Control KT to format. And only if this message view is not null, then only we'll show this message. Okay, let's auto reload and see if it works. Let's check in. Okay, let's replace this. Okay, that's gone now. Since Jessica is active, let's check if Peter is inactive. Okay, so it has come over here. Okay, so it looks like it's not going inside, which means this member is active. It's membership. Member, let's try the second member. Who is the second member? Is Peter. This members is not here. It says Peter is active as well. Let's check the database. Select all memberships. So member one is Jessica, and member two is Peter. The end date is 2025-21, 2023-320. So end date are less than today's date, right? So if its end date is less than today's date, they are already expired. So 320, this one, Jessica is not expired, but 5 to Peter is already expired. Let's see what went wrong here. So it's including memberships. Oh, no, I made mistake. It's not checking the ID. It should be checking the member ID and memberships dot and let's how to load this. And let's right check Twitter. Not going as well. It says Twitter is active. Something is wrong in here. Well, get. Let's go to the index page. Check in. And if we go to its page, go to page. If the member status is, if the member that memberships end date is greater than today's date, and it's active, otherwise it's expired. Yes, it is correct. And it should be greater than today, this to be active, otherwise it's expired. But what about, let's put a breakpoint in here and see why this Peter is coming as active. 521. 5 today is okay. So what's happening here is 521 is greater than today's date. So let's update one member. So let's update this Jessica. Today is January, February. Let's make it in March. January. Today is February. The ID is equal to 1. Equal to 1 was updated. Let's refresh this page and see if Jessica comes as expired. Okay, Jessica is now expired. Now let's try to check in Jessica. Okay, now it's going inside this page. And let's see if this message comes up. Okay, membership is expired for this member. So as expected, this one has come, but the HTML is not good. So we need to add some padding in here. So what we're gonna do is we'll go inside here and put some class in here. So in Bootstrap there is the pt-1. pt means padding top 1, and we'll also put padding bottom 1 as well. Let's auto reload. Okay, let's disable this breakpoint and continue. Okay, this one looks slightly better. But bottom, we can increase some padding in bottom. Let's put this to padding bottom to auto load and see. Oops. Okay, instead of increasing it, decrease. Let's see what's happening here. PB-2. Let's put PB-3. Oops. So the space in here is increasing. So I think we should not put padding. Instead of padding, we need margin, because what happens with padding is it increases the space within this text, but we need to increase the text outside of this box. For that, we need to put margin. So once I put margin, oops, it's not working. Let's put margin. Okay. Let's put margin and stop. So the margin is also not working in this case. Okay. Adding bottom. String is not working. Let's put one. So what we can do in this case is, that's a div. We are putting margin bottom one. It's increasing. Then what? Probably we'll need to, let's edit this element. How can we edit? Okay, then HTML. Let's put a div inside here. Let's call this. We need to experiment. Maybe we need a row. Let's put inside a row. So by default class is equal to, we put a default bootstrap row. Okay. Oops. So it's inside a row now. And it's working now. Maybe just, okay, now it's working. So what it's expecting a row before. Now we see the margin is working now, but the padding is too much in bottom. So I'll add padding bottom at 0. Okay, it's looking good. But it's so great. 0 is, let's put 1. Okay, padding bottom 1 is good. So we will edit this as HTML, copy all of these, and then we'll add that in here. Okay, we'll format this one, and instead of this hard-coded text, we'll use this dynamic text. We'll remove this line. Control K to format. Okay, this looks good. And inside this, whenever there is a row, we should also add a column. So let's put this column here. That's div. Okay. But the length of this div, currently it's 4. Let's see how it shows. Okay. When it's 4, the length is too low. Let's make it as around 10. Oops, it's not working. I don't know why it's not working with this column thing. Anyways, this looks better than before. So I will leave it just like this for now. And so our code is working, but yeah, as you can see, these drop down are empty here. So what's happening here is whenever we return this page, like before, we were assigning in this view bags, you see, the members and plans, but now we are not assigning them. So let's assign them. Before we return, we'll assign these view bags for member ID and plan ID. Let's hot reload once again. Now these are coming. Now since Jessica is expired, so she can't, no, she can't check in, but Peter, yeah, he can check in. But what's happening is Peter is checking in too many times, so we need to validate that as well. What we can do is, if Peter has checked in already, we need to show some message like you have already checked in. Let's do that. So another condition would be if so what we need to do is we need to check in the check-in table. If let's check in the database. So we need to check in the check-in table if this member, so there's member ID here of created at. Yeah. So what we need to check is we need to check if this member has checked in today, and how we can check in today is by this created at date today. If the date time that today matches with created at the date and the member ID is also present, then we don't need to like insert this data again. So what we will do is we'll look into context dot check-ins dot maybe any and object source tag x dot member ID equal to, so we'll check it with this data checking check in dot member ID. You'll see if this data is present, and not only present, it should be of today's date. It's x dot created at dot date is equal to date time dot today. So if this is present, it's formatted, then we'll make yeah. So then we'll send you message as you like you have already checked in, or this member has already checked in. Uh, let's start it once again. Okay, let's go to check-ins. Let's try to check in this Peter. Okay, it says you have already checked in. Checked in. The spelling is not good. That is CKE checked in. That should be good. But as you can see, these data are not coming. So we'll need to do this. So what I'm thinking is, so this data is coming repeating always. So we'll follow the dry principle here. The dry principle means don't repeat yourself. We're repeating this code again and again in many places like here as well. So we'll extract this code into a new method so that it can be reused again. So what we can do is, if we select this part of code and we can extract this method as, let's give them a new name. Name will be memberships, since these are memberships, right? Member and memberships. Assign get. Okay, get. Actually, we're getting the data members. So let's call this as get members. And MEMPERS members. Okay. And we'll copy this code and put this in here. And then we'll put that part in here as well. So this get members, it has now 3 references. Now this part of code is like it's reused. So whenever if you want to check, like if you want to change any code, we can change in only one place. So previously, if something went wrong, if we have to add something, we'll have to add in like more than 3 places. But now we'll have to change only in one place. Let's see if this is still working. Okay. Let's check in. If this drop down is coming, that means it's still working. Let's try to check in Jessica. Okay, it's still working. Now let's try to check in Peter, and it's still working. And here, as you can see, this button is saying that it's great. Padding is also not, spacing is also not looking good here. So let's try to fix that. And I think we don't need this plan in here as well. We just need this member. While checking in, we don't need this plan to be checked in. And that's a bit of question. Like, I don't think we need plan in this checking because we can get this plan by joining this member. And if we look inside plans, okay, plans. Done which member is for which plan from here. Maybe let's look into memberships. I think from memberships we'll know which member is taking which plan. Okay, from here we'll know that. So we don't need to mention this plan in here because we'll know whenever. Uh, so we don't need this. I think we can remove this whole column from members. But for now, let's just remove this part from here. So for that, we'll need to remove this div in here. And then, since we don't need that, let's just comment that for now. So, yeah. So, as you can see, we've changed this piece of code. Before when we didn't extract this code into get members, we'll have to change in 3 different places for the same piece of code. So now we'll have changed in only one place. So we don't need this plan ID. So even when we're creating, so we'll not need this plan ID. But let's see if this check-in is a required field. This plan is a required field. Probably this is a required field. Let's make this as a nullable field for now. Even if we make this nullable, we'll have to change it in the database. And let's just comment out this code for now. Let's see where it affects. There should be some failure. Yeah. So the checking has plan. I don't want any plan in checking. So let's remove this part. So there's no plan in checking. So I don't want this part as well. Let's go to plan. Okay. So allocating, okay. Let's not include plan as well. I don't need plan in checking. Let's go to the model called plan. We have included check-ins here. Okay, I don't need this part in here. Okay, let's build this now. Looks like build is successful. One failed. Let's see where it says it's in here. Check-in plan. Okay, let's in delete. Let's remove this code from here. Let's see where else. Storing error. Okay, yeah. Here as well. What else? Okay, there are too many errors in here. What is this plan? Plan, okay, here as well. Let's remove this. I think it's check-ins. It's over in edit. It will probably be in index as well. Yeah, yeah. I don't need this plan. Here as well. If you want to show that plan, we can show that by joining the memberships later on. But for now, we'll just remove it. Let's see in details. The plan is here in the community and house community. Okay. Great. I have already deleted. Let's just do this comment as well. Let's try to build once more. Now the build is updated. Let's try to run this. I think we'll also have to migrate. We'll have to create a new migration because we no longer have plan. Now it's working good. Now there's no longer that. Now if we try, okay, what about Peter? You already checked in. But I think if the Peter is created successfully, there will be some error. So let's delete the check-ins for Peter today. So let's delete. Oh, yes. I think we can also delete. So I think if we log in from here, we can delete from here as well. Let's delete this part. Yep. Okay. Now let's try to. I'm expecting an error in here. Yeah. So saying we can put null into plan ID. Yeah. Okay. What we have to do is we have to like update a migration. Now let's do that. Our migration is, let's see, where is our migration table? Oh, okay. So add as migration plan from settings. Okay. Now let's look at this. Cool. So it's dropping the foreign key and dropping this whatever index is there for plan ID, and it's also dropping this column called plan ID from settings. So it looks looking good. Now let's update this database. Okay, now it's succeeded. These are query executed. Now let's check in our database. Now let's select asterisk from check-ins. Now, as you can see, the plan ID is gone from here. Now, let's run this once again. Now let's do checking one again for Peter. Should work now. Yes. Now, once again, let's check in Peter. So it says you already checked in. So no more redundant data for Jessica. It's since like it's expired, so she cannot log in. Now what we can do is, what if Jessica paid to the member, to the staff, how we can do that? So for that, we'll have to log in and go to memberships. And then what we can do is, yeah, we'll have check this member Jessica. And yeah, and we'll have to edit the end date in here. So with February, let's update till next month, right? Okay, and then let's update this. So until February has stayed. Now let's try to check in. Okay, now as you can see, so previously I had already like updated like check in Jessica before even applying this code. So this part is coming. So for this case we'll have let's delete this like incorrect data. Since we are admin at the moment, we can do that. But normal users they won't be able to do that. So now let's try to check in Jessica. As you can see, Jessica can now check in. Now she has already checked in. So she cannot check in again because she has already checked in. We don't need redundant data. So it's looking good now. Jessica and Peter. So for now, this drop down is okay when we have less members. But what if there are too many members? Like we have hundreds of members, then this column would there will be 100 of these column like rows in here. So it will be difficult for us to choose which member. So in that case, we'll have to make a search like input field here, and then we'll choose one member. So that's a task that we can do later on. And I like challenge you guys, whoever is watching this video, to make the search button in here and mention it in the comments below. Okay, guys. For now, okay, this HTML field is the space in here. Let's try to fix that. So let's create create.html. Let's put some margin. That's one. And this one here. Okay, now this one's looking good. So this is looking good for now. And instead of create, what we can do is we can say this as check-in value that's check in back to check in list. Yeah, this is looking good now. Okay. So I think we will cross an hour of time. So I think we'll conclude this video today. And for next video, I think what I want to do is currently this we've been coding everything in this uh, in this uh, in this page. We're doing this database check in this page, in the same page. So this is very tightly coupled with our with entity framework and queries. So if you want to scale this to a bigger project, what we want to make is we want to make a loosely coupled applications, so that we can scale. So what if we need to change entity framework later on? For that, we will have to make such kind of code that even if we change this HTML this entity framework, if we decide to use other languages other framework, instead of entity framework, what if we decide to use Dapper or even raw query? So we can code in such a way that even if we don't need to change any code in here, like, so we can make a loosely coupled application by following a design pattern called repository pattern. So next, in our next project, my next video, I'll show you how to make a repository pattern. But I would like to conclude this video for now. Let's see in my next lesson. Thank you for today.